In this video, we're going over our monthly July budget. Yes, a new month means a new budget. So this includes our monthly goals, our monthly calendar, and again, what my husband and I are expected to bring in financially and what we're expected to give out to our bills, expenses, debt, savings, all the things. So if you're new here and you're interested in watching saving videos, debt videos, budgeting videos, paycheck videos, go ahead and join this community by clicking that subscribe button. Also, on paperbymode.com, every Sunday we release a new blog talking about some financial topic, okay? Some financial journey, financial saving, all the things. This most recent blog post was titled How to Tackle Debt When Newly Married or Combining Finances. This can be, a topic that's hard to go about, especially when you're in a relationship and you're trying to combine finances, if that's something you decide to do. But I went ahead and created a blog post on it. I gave my tips, my pointers of what helped my husband and I combine our numbers. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. All the links to the most recent blog posts are below in the description. So stay tuned. So if you don't know, this right here is our budget planner and you're thinking, Mo, it's just a binder. You're not wrong. It is a binder. We just like to use this binder as a budget planner. I like to stress this because it's so easy. I hate when people say, oh, I can't do it. I haven't bought the most latest budget planners. It really takes nothing much but effort, okay? You can do it in a piece of paper, in a notebook, or a binder like myself. Now, within my binder, I do like to print my planner resources. They're available on paperbymode.com. Some of them are free and most of them are affordable, between $1 to $20. Nothing outrageous, nothing egregious. So all of these that you're seeing here is again on paperbymode.com. And let's get into this July budget. Okay. So like I said, we're going to go over our calendar. I just think it's really good to place any special days on the calendar. This affects our money, right? Because if there's a holiday, so July, there's the 4th of July. If you do things on the 4th of July or you're going to a concert or you're going out of town, that affects your money. You should put it on the calendar. My husband's birthday is in July. We're going to put it on the calendar. So here's the quote for this month. It is personal finance is specific to each person's life. So do not try to mimic other people's budget. I love this. I get a lot of comments, people asking me about my numbers and what I'm doing, and they're trying to do exactly what I'm doing. And I appreciate you all for watching. However, I just know that my numbers probably are not going to be just like you all's numbers. So I wouldn't tell you to do what I'm doing because one, we might not have the same goals, right? Two, we probably don't have the same numbers. And, three, we have just different priorities. So maybe your priority is paying off, I don't know, a car loan. I no longer have a car loan. So it doesn't show in my budget. I hope that makes some type of sense here. Okay, so what we're going to do, if you don't know, I write hard. So I try to write with paper behind each paper. And then I also kind of write to the side. Let's put our planner off to the side somewhere. Okay, so I try to write to this. I don't know why I don't try to write to the side, but I write to the side. It's just what I do. Okay, so we're gonna get some pens. I like to, first and foremost, I use Pilot pens. I love the way they write. Just neat, that's all. I like to do different colors for different things. So I usually like to do our paydays in green. I don't know, maybe something special in purple. And then the rest, or like the numbers, in black. Do I have a black pen? Okay, so July starts on a Tuesday. So that's what we're going to go ahead and write down. Just numbering the days out. It is 31 days in July. So let's get to it. Tuesday, 2, 4. Okay, so I went ahead and wrote them all in off camera. So again, we go from Tuesday is the 1st. The 31st of July is on a Thursday. So let's start off with our paydays. So my husband and I both get paid bi-weekly, and we get paid the same week. I get paid on a Thursday. My husband gets paid on a Friday, but just for semantics, we just go ahead and put them both for Friday. So we get paid on the 4th of July. So we're going to put payday here. Obviously, that's also a holiday. I know for sure my paycheck, because it usually goes on a 3rd, it's probably going to come on a Wednesday because of the holiday. My husband's paycheck, no matter if it's a holiday or not, it comes consistently on the Friday. Hey, I'm not mad. I don't like that it does that sometimes, just because I like for our numbers to come in at the same time, especially since my husband had kind of started a new position. This will be his first paycheck where he's fully into his new position. So it's going to look different. So it's kind of hard to estimate the numbers when somebody has a new role with a new number, like a new hourly salary, things like that. Okay, so we're going to put payday. There we go. And then again, it's bi-weekly. So boom. So skipping a week, and we're going to do the 18th. So because I know that it's going to be the 18th, and then the next Friday that we get paid was going to be in August. August is going to be a 3 paycheck month. I'm freaking excited, you guys. So let's go ahead and put payday. Should maybe do it twice. Now I'm going to have to put the 4th of July. I'm putting anything special in purple. Or maybe, I don't know, let's do red and blue. Isn't that festive? I don't know. Let's just do blue. We're going to go ahead and put 4th of July. I'll just put the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We will not be celebrating the 4th of July. We don't have anything planned specifically right now. My aunt might have something planned. She likes to, barbecue, cook out, something like that. But us, we don't really have anything planned. So we might just be driving to her house because she also lives in Maryland. So there's that. I do want to put in purple, my husband's birthday is the 14th of July. My husband is a Cancer. So I'm going to say O's birthday. I do have plans for us, but it will not happen until August because it's a concert and the concert that he wants to go to. So now, did I pay for him yet? No. So we definitely will be talking about that affecting that 4th of July paycheck that we're going to be getting, as well as our sinking funds. Okay. So this is our calendar. Now let's move right along to our monthly goals. Okay. I'm going to write on top of that. Now, we haven't closed out June just quite yet. We will do it very soon. But I bring this up because when you're making monthly goals, you want to look at your previous monthly goals. And did you do the things you said you were going to do last month? Or are we bringing them over? Or are we creating all new goals? So we're kind of doing a little bit of both, right? We're going to be doing a little bit of both. So my husband, I'm going to put O right here. He is studying for a certification. So he's going to continue studying for a certification. And we're going to put that as his goal, study certification. Okay. I think one of my goals for the month of June was just like work out my career planning strategically. What do I want to do? Next steps. And I met with my supervisor, my boss, and we talked about that. So we worked on it a little bit, but it still needs some molding on my behalf, on my end, on what I want to do. He asks these questions a lot. Like my supervisor says, what do you want to do in life? And that's a great question because nobody really asks, like once you get in your field, nobody says, what do you want to do next? You have so many doors you can open. What is it? So I'm still kind of working on that for myself. But my husband is also, working on his certification, and we just want to continue this because until he gets his certification, we're going to write this every month until he gets his certification. That's the goal for that. All right. So let me put myself right here on the opposite side. And I'm just continuing, work out career plans. Work out career plans. Not the best writing. Okay. Another thing for me, I don't know if you all knew this, but I'm on a 75 hard journey where for 75 days I'm trying to work out, drink ample amount of water, eat healthy, which I already do, and then also work on something Paper by Mo related, whether that's content, a YouTube video, a blog, all the things. And then once bi-weekly, I'm trying to socialize and do plant care because plants is a part of my 75 hard. Okay, we're trying to keep them alive. So we're gonna say continue 75 hard. Now I've been doing really good. There was 2 days I did not work out because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I was a little under the weather. My voice has been wonky. So yeah. But outside of those 2 days, I've been working out. I mean, like going to the gym every now and then, walking, but running a mile, doing the things. She's trying effort. So we're trying 75 hard. I really should say 75 soft because it's softly. It's not because the hard. Some people are reading books and doing a whole bunch of that. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. So back to my husband, we're gonna go ahead and put a great birthday for him. He does not have to work on his birthday, but he does have a doctor's appointment on his birthday. And some people might say, why don't you just reschedule the doctor's appointment? Not me, but him. But when you wait so long for a doctor's appointment, because these doctors are busy, you do what you can. So he's keeping the doctor's appointment. We're gonna hang out on his birthday, and then our plans are for August to go to the concert and go from there. So a great birthday is what the goal is for him. Another thing, this is both of us. We just want to be healthy. Whether that's physical, mental, emotional, all the things, especially with me getting sick. Being sick, it really just pushes you back some. It makes you relax, makes you calm down, makes you take a breather, make you pause, makes you go to sleep. So I just want to say healthy, be healthy. And that'll apply to both of us, but I'm just putting it under me because I'm the sick one here. And then another thing is our money. So we're going to put money. We want to continue to give to our house fund. So the goal here is $1,000 a paycheck or $2,000 a month if we get 2 paychecks. August will be a different month, but this month, July, we will get 2 paychecks. So we'll say $2,000 towards home fund. The goal for the end of the year is to have at least 50,000. I'm saying at least. The goal was just 50,000, but you know what? Why give a ceiling? Why give a cap? We'll just say at minimum 50,000. We're at 20 something thousand right now, so anything's possible, and that's where we are. Okay, so $2,000 towards home fund. Boom. So this is our goals. Now let's go ahead and move into our budget. Okay, let's find, here it is. This is our monthly budget. This is our sinking funds on the back. Okay, so monthly budget. A new month, new numbers. So here we are. Okay, so the month is July. Now, if you do not know, my husband and I, we try to use the zero-based budgeting method. That means that every dollar has a job. So when you see us get done with our numbers, we want to have zero at the end. Not saying that we have $0, but that we have $0 unaccounted for. That every dollar has something to do, whether that's paying off debt, paying a bill, putting towards savings, investing, all the things. Every dollar has a job. That's why we try to use zero-based budgeting. We just want to make sure that the money is working for us and our goals. So with that being said, we're going to start off in the budgeting column because we're budgeting, we're expecting, we're assuming this is where we're going to put our money. But I like to say this in some of my videos, the person you are at the top of the month might not be the same person at the end of the month. If you do not do exactly what you budgeted, that's okay. Things happen. Life events happen. People change in the course of 30, 31 days. So it's perfectly fine, which is why we have a budget column and an actual column. So we're going to say we're starting off with $0. Does that mean we have $0? No, it just means that we're saying the money that's in our account is a buffer or it's accounted for. It's not to be touched. It's not to be added to what we're bringing in. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. So we're going to do my husband's full time. And again, we're predicting we're putting out an expectation. We're throwing a little bit of spaghetti on the wall and seeing if it sticks, which is why, like I said, the actual numbers can definitely change. So for my husband's full-time, we're expecting his check maybe to be $1,600. Okay. And so he gets 2 checks. So we're timing that by 2. That's going to be $3,200. Now, when it comes to our numbers, we are expecting some more changes. 1, because my husband started a new job within his job. And then 2, because of our 401ks. My husband and I sat down and discussed that we will be giving more money to our 401ks. So when you give more money to your 401k, obviously that means that you're going to see less money that you're going to be bringing home. Okay. So we'll see when the numbers change, if we're on the money or if we're off the money, how we are. So that's the expected income from my husband. And then for mine, I bring in about a little over $3,000, usually like three, that was too much. Like about 3,052, right? But I'm upping my 401k as well. So we are assuming it's going to be $2,900. We'll see if we're on the money, if we're off the money, whatever. So we're going to take 2,900. We're going to times it by 2. That's going to be $5,800 a month for the month of July, because there's only 2 paychecks for us. So 5,800. So now we're going to add the 5,800 plus 3,200, and we're going to get $9,000. So this is what we're expecting to come in. Uh-oh, are we getting out of ink? Oh, there we go. So we're expecting $9,000. Like I said, we might be right, we might be wrong. Who knows? All right. So when we're going to go over to our fixed expenses are those bills that's not supposed to change. That's not always true, because I like to put electricity over here, and electricity does fluctuate, right? Water's supposed to too, but our water may or may not be stagnant. I don't know how to explain it because we live in an apartment. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our rent. We pay a total of $1,545 every month towards our rent. Now we also have a water/sewage bill. This ends up being incorporated into our rent, but we like to set aside $105. So that water sewage bill is like our water, sewage, trash, stuff like that, right? So it's usually under 105. So all of this money right here, and that's going to be in fixed expenses, we put it into our bill account to pay our bills. We usually have a little bit of buffer left over, but we don't touch it because you never know when one bill is going to be over, like electricity, because woo, you know? Okay, so we put 105 towards our water, sewage, and both of these end up being paid together. Another bill we have is our internet bill. So that is $50. This is every month. Another bill we have is our phone bill, which we go back and forth about because it just goes up. AT&T just amples up like slowly, okay? I did do a little chat with AT&T asking them why has the bill gone from like 170 something to 180 something. And they basically said like, oh, we had more tax and fees, or we took off a deal that you had that was $1 or $2. So I don't know. I guess I have nothing to do but to live with that. So here we are. So another bill here is going to be subscriptions, and it's $22. I get asked, what is this? This subscription is our Apple Music. It is Apple Storage, which, you know, those measly 99 cents that Apple likes to charge you. It's also our Hulu. We pay 99 cents a month for Hulu because we did the Black Friday deal. I hope and pray they have a Black Friday deal this year because we will be doing it again. So that's how it all comes up to $22. And not just my Apple storage, also my husband's Apple storage. So $22 it is. Now let's talk about loans. So this right here is my student loan bill. It's $197. And then my husband's student loan bill is usually $250, but at this moment he does not have to pay it back. And although we attempted to pay back in June and May, my husband and I decided we're just going to save that money to pay towards his loan, to put towards mine, because his loan, he doesn't have to pay back right now. And he's not gaining any interest. My student loans, I have a pay date and I am gaining interest. My husband got in this situation because he was on the save plan, but then there was litigation, what's going on here in America, that you can't, it was paused with the save plan, and that put his student loans not accruing interest, which is a really good thing. So we're going to go ahead and pay down my student loans. We're not going to pay his bill. We have decided we're going to put some money towards my husband's student loans just to round out his number that he owes. I think, which is like 20,000 and other numbers left over. But you're going to see that moving forward in all the student loan debt videos. So we're putting $0 towards his actual bill. Next up, we have car insurance. Okay, so for my car and my husband's car, which is $179, we are so grateful, and they're both older cars, but they both have, what is it called? Full coverage. Okay, so that's $179. Way cheaper than when we were living in New Orleans, for sure. So this right here is life insurance for my husband and myself. It is $108.04. And this life insurance includes 2 term policies, one for me, one for him, and then 2 whole policies, one for me, one for him. So that's $108.04 that we pay every month. Now, we also have a gym membership that we pay $70 for, that I use a lot, considering I'm on that 75 hard, 75 south situation. And then last but not least, we have electricity. We just decided to put $170 because I feel like it's going up. The hotter it is outside, we are melting outside. We keep that air blasting. I'm going to be honest. We keep it blasting. So it is what it is. They got to do what they got to do, because we got to do what we got to do when it comes to the air. So that's $15.45 plus $105 plus $50 plus $180 plus $22 plus $197 plus $179 plus $108.04, okay, plus $70, and then plus $170. It says $2,626.04, and that is what I have in my notes. So we're gonna put that total to 2626 dot. I'm gonna put up here because I write too big. $2,626.04. Fingers crossed it's actually lower than that, because you're like, how's it gonna be lower? Electricity. I'm just hoping electricity is smaller, but you know what? We're trying to do worst case scenario out here. So we're gonna take 2626.04 and we're gonna subtract $9,000. So now we have $6,373.96, which I'm always grateful for. And I know you're thinking like, that's a lot of money to have left over. We definitely have to include our variable expenses because that's our food and gas, right? So that's a necessity as well. And then once we have the fixed expenses and the variable expenses together, that number that's remaining, that's, I guess what's left over. That's our difference, which again, grateful for. So this number is $6,373.96. So we're going to go from this fixed expenses and we're going to move on down to this box right here. And it's going to be variable expenses. So again, our variable expenses include our food. We have gas for my car. Well, that's his car. And then my car. And then we also put in fund money. And you're probably thinking, why? Realistically, if you want to get a snack, I don't know, if you want to get some French fries or a meal from Chick-fil-A or a Starbucks drink or whatever, you want to go bowling or you want to, I don't know, whatever you want to do, realistically for us, maybe not everybody, but for us, it just makes sense for us to have a little bit of fun money to account for those things. Maybe my husband wants to use his fun money to get his hair cut. I don't know. Or maybe I want to get my toes done. It is summertime. I might want to have my toes out and they might not want to look ugly, you know? So fun money is for a variation of things. And that is why, it's just for our own enjoyment, AKA fun. Okay. So when it comes to food, traditionally, we were saying $200 for every paycheck, right? So 200 and 200 will be 400. But lately, as I have been working out a lot more, I've been eating a lot more. Okay. Work out, eat. work out, eat. So we decided to do an extra $50. So $250 and $250. Now we're at $500. So again, hoping this is less than this. My husband and I kind of stopped, not kind of, we stopped shopping at Aldi. So we're thinking maybe we should go back to Aldi every now and then or something, because that Aldi is very, very, very affordable. We would go to Harris Teeter. They have a lot of buy one, get one frees. That is our friend. Don't get me wrong. I love a buy one, get one free, especially with cheese and things like that. But still so expensive. So we're just trying to change it up, see what we can do. Now, one thing we're not going to change is our gas fund. We do $30 a paycheck for gas for each person. So this is going to be $60 for my husband and $60 for me. Now, in some places, gas is going up. It's a lot of things going on right now. So hopefully we can stay within this budget when it comes to gas. But worst case scenario, whatever we have left over from food, if we have some left over from food, we can just put towards gas. Okay, and when it comes to fun, we do $50 a paycheck. Again, so there's 2 paychecks, so that's going to be $100 per person. You're thinking, wow, you do more towards fun than gas. Our cars are smaller, and they usually don't take a lot of gas, and a lot of stuff is near us. We're not far. We're 10, 15 miles from a lot of things. Now, does that mean we are on the road a lot though? Because it's Maryland and it's overly congested. So, the things are the things. So we got 500, 6, 7, and 12, which should be 820. So let's see, 7 plus, I said 12 as in 60 plus 60 is 120, 820. Okay. So the total here is $820. So what we're going to do, we're going to take $6,373.96, and we're going to subtract $820. And now we have a remainder of $5,553.96. Okay. This is our differential. This is our remainder money. This right here is what we consider necessities, what we have to take care of our 4 walls in the apartment, or in our 4 walls in our car, and our health. You got to eat, you got to pay for gas, things like that. Probably not the fun, but we're going to keep that included. So very, very grateful to be able to have $5,553.96 left over to put towards something outside of our 4 walls. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to move towards savings. I do get the question of, what do I do? Why does my check look the way it does? Or what does my husband do? So when it comes to me, I am a cybersecurity engineer. So that's what I do. I do have 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's of science, both of them in science. So I've been moving up in my field. And then when it comes to my husband, traditionally he is in business, but he's still kind of in business actually, but right now he is in an interim job that actually he's gotten in Maryland, and it's not 100% horrible. So, and he just got a new position within that company. So this is not his forever job. He's trying to get a certification, trying to move to something else, but that is what we do. He's in business and I am in cybersecurity. Okay. Let's go ahead and move to savings. I should have put saving-ish, because I like to put our IRAs over here. And we haven't been given a lot to our IRAs, but now that, again, my husband has his job after his layoff last year, what we're doing is we're putting a little bit more to our IRAs, and we're putting more to our 401ks. So trying to get back into the swing of things, because life changes, and what do? We get back on it. Okay, so we have his IRA, my IRA, our house account, and our sinking funds. So we're going to go ahead and do $500 for my husband's IRA. And we're going to do $500 for my IRA, $500. Then when it comes to house, again, $1,000 per paycheck is the goal. So we're going to put $2,000 down. And then when it comes to sinking fund, because I have an older car, my husband has an older car, and our older cars are giving us a little older problems. Hate that for us, but we're blessed enough to be able to take care of it. So now we got to set the money aside to actually get it done. So what we're doing is putting $1,053.96. You're thinking, That's very specific. It's just the remainder of that $5,553.96. So this is what we have. We have 1,000 plus 2,000 is 3,000. But let me just put it for cracks and giggles. So 1,000 plus 2,000, that's 3,000. And then we're going to plus $1,053.96. So that's $4,053.96. Okay. 96. So we're going to take that number and we're going to subtract that from 5,553. Okay, yeah, $5,553.96. So now we have $1,500 remaining. It says negative. I just did it backwards. So now we're going to debt. Okay, so we're going to put student loans here. So we're going to just put the $1,500 to student loans, but we also wanted to give a little extra to my husband's. So the confusion here and why I haven't wrote it yet is how much of the extra are we putting towards my husband's? Because his, we just want him to even out his number. And I think it's less than $100 and something, but we're not 100% sure. So student loan debt, I'm going to put O's loans. I'm going to put Mo's loans. Okay. So I'm going to say $1,300 for my student loans, $1,300. And then we're going to say $200 for my husband's. So that's going to equal $1,500. And that means we're going to have $0 remaining. Okay. So this is how we're budgeting out our numbers for July. So I have me a highlighter. If you don't know, we try. We're not always great at it, but we try to go ahead and do some cash stuffing. Okay. Basically, not because we like cash stuffing, but just because it works best for us, specifically when it comes to our food budget. When we have cash for food, we spend within budget. I don't know why it needs to be a scientific experiment on it, but probably because once we're done with the cash, we're done spending. It's easier to see. If you have a $20 bill, you go into the store, this thing is 10 and this thing is 15. That means you can't buy it. It's 25. But if this thing is 10 and that thing is 10, you probably still can't buy it because of taxes. But if this is 9 and that's 9, with taxes, you can afford it because you only have $20. That's why we believe it works. So we do it for food. We don't do it for gas because we usually go to Costco for gas, but we also do it for fun money because for us, it's just easier for us to know what to spend and what not to spend when it comes. Okay, so we're going to put cash right here. All right, so just going over the numbers. We're expecting to bring in $9,000. Will we? We'll see when we go through the actual and when we close out. We're expecting that our fixed expenses, aka our bills, will be $2,626.04. I was going to say 26. Same difference, right? $2,626.04. From that, we will have over $6,000 left over. We're expecting to spend $500 on food, $60 on gas for both him and myself, him being my husband, and then $100 for each person for fun. Totaling out to $820 in our variable expenses. Then when it comes to savings, we're saving a whopping $4,000, okay? So $1,000 for our IRA combined, $2,000 for our house account because the goal is $50,000 for the whole year, right? By the end of the year, we should at least have $50,000. And then we want $1,000 for our sinking funds because our cars are older and we're trying to do a little bit better with maintenance and keeping that up. Then we have debt, which is student loans. Boo, but we have it. So $200 for my husband's student loans, $1,300 for my student loans, only because I have 50 something thousand in student loans. My student loans have a payback date, meaning I still have to pay my student loans. Right now, my husband does not. And my student loans are gaining interest. Boo. And it's every day. Okay. So this is why we have more towards my student loans than to his. So you're probably thinking, why give his anything? Just because we want to round his number out. I'm not sure if that's going to be the specific number, but this is what we're guesstimating here. And then we can just come back to the actual and tell you what it actually is. So this is our July monthly budget. I hope you guys are doing your July monthly budget. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.